What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today's part 3 of my MCU retrospective, and we're going to look at Iron Man 2 today. This is the sequel to 2008's hit Iron Man, and it sees the return of most of the principal cast, save for Terrence Howard, who, depending on who you believe, left for different reasons, but he doesn't come back. In goes Don Cheadle. Amazing recasting. I'm going to spend about as much time talking about it as the movie does.
Hey, buddy. Didn't expect to see you here.
Look, it's me. I'm here. Deal with it. Let's move on.
I
Drop it.
All right, I'll drop it.
Let's go ahead and move on. Now, I do really like the introduction to Ivan Vanko. I think that there was a really intriguing and awesome character in there, and I think that Mickey Rourke saw that, and that's why he tries so hard. I mean, this man has admitted that they cut a lot of the stuff from him out of the movie. We thought we were going to get a lot more story. I mean, there's an intriguing backstory where his father and Tony Stark's father, Howard, are working together to kind of create a new element, and they're doing some interesting stuff. They're doing the arc reactor technology. And then, you learn more about that backstory. They don't do anything with it, so I'm not even going to spend a lot of time talking about it. Whiplash, Ivan, could have been a really cool villain. We also have Justin Hammer is the flip side of that coin. Sam Rockwell, again, he knew that he wasn't going to have an intriguing character, so the dude just dances.
Yeah! What I'm talking about.
Sam Rockwell brings a charm and charisma that only he can do. This guy, you laugh at him every single time that he's on screen, but he's not in on the joke. And that's the whole essence of his character. He's rich, but I don't know how, because he's terrible at his job. Nothing he does works. And again, Tony Stark constantly makes, jokes and makes him look like a fool. There's even a line about him causing him to lose his military contract. So again, there's a really intriguing rivalry and villain there. I think that Justin Hammer, given more time, could have been a really interesting foil to Tony Stark. And maybe we don't do the man in the giant Iron Man suit at the end of the movie. Maybe we let Justin Hammer be the primary antagonist, and he goes at Tony Stark from a more cerebral, business standpoint. I mean, I'm not saying the final battle's on Wall Street, but I'm just saying we don't need another Iron Man versus Iron Man final battle. And that's exactly what we get again in this movie. And I'll get there when we talk about the finale, but I'm just saying I think they missed on both villains, and that may be what ultimately is the problem of the movie, because Tony Stark's great, Robert Downey Jr. is great, Pepper Potts, Gwyneth Paltrow's great. You get the introduction of the third Avenger. Scarlett Johansson comes in as Black Widow. Amazing introduction in this movie. I love her scene with Happy when they're boxing.
Got everything that I need.
Rule number 1, never take your eye off your opponent.
Oh my God! Happy!
That's what I'm talking about.
It's a great little bit of fun, little comedy gold there. Jon Favreau is an underrated comedic act. He's a really funny actor, as well as the director of this movie. Now, while I do find a sizable majority of this movie, unfortunately, mediocre, there are a couple moments that stand out to me. One is Tony Stark's Stark Expo entrance to Shoot to Thrill AC/DC. This is one of the best character reintroductions in any sequel in the history of cinema. I'll put that on the record. I love it. I love every time the music hits, I get a huge smile on my face. Another one of the scenes that works really well for me is the entire raceway scene, and not just the action when Yvonne comes out, but everything leading up to it. Again, I love Tony and Justin Hammer's dynamic. So the fact that we get a little bit of that, kind of adding to the rivalry. Again, I think they really missed an opportunity by not exploring that more. But once Tony finally realizes, man, I'm dying. Like he tests his blood. It's like well over 50%, I believe, at that point. It's pretty bad, getting pretty bad. And that's why he's starting to act so recklessly. He gets in the car, fun little action sequence there, and then Whiplash comes out. The visual of his clothes burning off his back and like the suffering that he's willing to go through to make this work, because that couldn't have felt good. I know he was protected by his suit a little bit, but you can't tell me that clothes burning off your back like that, didn't tickle a little bit. So it just shows how dedicated this man is, how relentless and ruthless he is. And he puts up a damn good fight against Tony Stark, but we get to see the first sort of flashes that he's more than just the suit. Tony survives a few minutes outside the suit, getting away, besting Yvonne's attacks with this powerful weapon until he finally gets, the briefcase from Happy and Pepper, who come to his rescue. And then we get one of my favorite suit up moments of the entire series. They get progressively more ridiculous and awesome, but I think for when this movie came out, the briefcase suit up is top notch. And then he makes short work of Yvonne thereafter because he's in a giant iron suit, and Yvonne has some fancy whips. So I've told you what I like. Let me tell you what I don't like. I don't like that for a movie that deals with Tony Stark's death, it feels awfully shallow because we're in the second movie. We know he's not going to die. I mean, is this not a little bit premature? I mean, it's an interesting story. The thing that's saving his life is also killing him, the palladium poisoning, him trying to find a new element, reconciliation with his father via, a video he finds, but it pushes even what I can believe, and we're starting to get to that point already, even in just the second movie. I mean, Tony just invents a new element. I mean, later he's going to invent time travel, so again, it gets pretty ridiculous from here, but with the ease that he's able to do these remarkable things, the stakes start to feel less and less and less because we know he's just going to invent a really awesome way to get out of it. It's fine, it's cool, that's what he does, but we've already arrived at that fatigue, for me at least, at the second movie, where you've invented this issue and then he just solves it by creating a new element that his father left for him, I guess. Like, I don't know, it seems kind of silly. I also, again, I told you I don't like what they do with either of the villains. I think either of the villains could have been more compelling alone, not together, alone. Give Mickey Rourke or Sam Rockwell more screen time, more time to, go back and forth with Stark, because, I mean, really, Tony and Yvonne only have a few brief moments in front of one another. I think Tony believes he's dead for most of the movie. So, I mean, guys, there's no surprise why this movie is very mid. I mean, it's elevated by the cast. It's elevated by Robert Downey Jr., by Scarlett Johansson, by Gwyneth Paltrow, by John Cheadle, by Mickey Rourke. It's elevated by the cast. It's elevated by some ideas, but a lot of them aren't executed as well as they could have been. Even though they repeat the bad guy Iron Man villain from the first movie, and we get another showdown with a villain in an iron suit, I don't hate this ending because at least we add War Machine on the good guy side and the drones on the bad guy side, so there's enough action there. And then at the exact same time, we get to see Black Widow fully released for the first time as her and Happy storm Hammer Enterprises. So you get both of those moments happening concurrently, and Black Widow, anytime she's out there beating the snot out of people, it's a lot of fun to watch. She is so good in these movies. And I really do miss her too. So going back and seeing her in action, again, great time to do that. And you have Happy being happy. All in all, I'm going to give this movie a 6 out of 10. It's not bad. It's not offensive. It's just forgettable. It exists. It gets us to Iron Man 3. Your feelings on that, they can be what they are. But this movie really is just a stepping stone. We repeat a lot of the same beats. We make a lot of the same jokes. We do a lot of the same things. But they worked once, They work well enough twice. I don't hate this movie. So comment down below, let me know your thoughts on Iron Man 2. Do you think it's better than the first one? Do you think it's better than part 3? Where does it rank in the trilogy? Where does it rank in the greater MCU? But guys, next week, we're going to have Thor. I'm going to try to squeeze it in. I know we got Thanksgiving coming up, but I want to get Thor out there pretty quickly. Maybe even Captain America, so that we can get this Avengers video coming ASAP. I know I'm excited to shoot it. I hope you guys are excited to go on the journey with me. As long as you're watching, I'm going to keep making videos. I love you all. Be good people. Be good to each other. If I don't talk to you beforehand, happy Thanksgiving. Remember what you're thankful for. Remember why you do what you do. For me, it's my family. I'm a blessed man. Thank you all very much. Have a great day.